like, oh, I don't believe that the fights are gonna work. And I was saying that to you. I was just like, Hoodie, I feel like they're gonna turn us back. They're gonna send us home. Hey guys, we are back. Yes, we are back.
Gotcha.
And I never put on lip balm. That's what I wanted to do. Hold this. You can tell them something.
So, of course, maybe some of you haven't heard from us for a while. While Gabrielle's putting on her lip gloss, what should I tell you? We are in a new place, different apartment, and it has been a transition.
I know. Like we literally have like 30 minutes to do this recording.
Yeah, before the kids come back.
And we're trying out everything at once. We're in
yeah.
our couch. It looks bright. We're trying out our ring light, trying out our roadcaster. We don't have the arms for the mic, but we're like, go for it. Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the things like we want to practice doing in our recordings. I know it's so awkward with the
That's okay.
One of the things we want to practice in our recordings is to kind of have you guys like a fly on the wall. Something happened a while ago to my mic.
Oh.
That you did.
Oh, I did.
And now it
I
doesn't.
can hear you.
I can't hear myself.
Can you hear you now?
Nope. I cannot hear anything.
Oh, brother.
Anyways, so one of the things that we want to do is to probably take a pause and say that again because I need to hear myself. Now we're back. So one of the things that we want to practice doing in these recordings is to kind of like have you guys as a fly on the wall and not necessarily as the main person in the room. Sorry. Yeah.
Don't feel left out though.
Yeah, because when we started the podcast and everything, it literally was called Catch Up Fridays.
Yeah.
And it was just us catching up with each other because when we had Kalino, it just felt like it was getting hard for us to be on the same page.
Kavika.
No, Kalino.
Oh, Kalino.
And I was pregnant with Kavika. Remember we did that?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So yeah, the first.
It was way back then.
Exactly. The very first catch-up Friday that we did was literally out eating ice cream. And Tika just picked up the phone and he was just like, honey, how are you? How's the pregnancy going?
Yeah.
And the same day, remember, when we were at the ice cream park.
Koplani.
Yes. Pamela was walking back with Kalina and we didn't even know they were in town because, she's such a sweet, sweet angel.
Pamela,
hi.
hey.
We miss you. We love you.
Yep.
But she's such a sweet, sweet person. And I'm so happy that we had her around with Kalino because she would take him into town.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we didn't know that she was there and they were passing and you were recording and we were like hiding in the corner. Exactly. So even though we're adding all of this extra thing, I just want to say that I wanted to start or continue to be us having conversations about things that we're thinking about and like, you know, just what's happening in our marriage, what we're exploring in our discussions, and they just get to be privy to it. And it's not necessarily about them, even though they get to be here. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. But anyway, hi guys, welcome back. We don't even have a template.
Well, you know what? Check us out on Instagram at @we_are_the Baileys.
Yes. And since we're talking about all those things, we have a wonderful resource that's coming out soon. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Just a quick, I mean, I won't go into too much details, but like a quick backstory. One of the questions that we got asked several times about our marriage was just like, you know, advice about marriage and like what was one thing that we would recommend to other people. And so we started to think about what was like the core thing in our relationship. And we recognized it was our faith, which it should be our faith. And so we created a faith journal for couples and it is amazing. I mean, we've sent it out. We've had a bunch of couples literally around the world.
It's been in beta testing right now.
Beta testing it, giving us their feedback on the layout, and they absolutely love it. And we just can't wait to share it with you guys.
Yep.
When is it that we're launching? October,
Yeah,
September?
somewhere at the end of
Find the
September or
Facebook,
October.
the Instagram page.
We'll keep you posted on that.
Exactly.
Our website, go to our website,
Yeah.
wearethebaileys.org. So yeah, if you're not already following us on YouTube or
Mhm.
on Instagram, please subscribe and leave a comment
Yes.
and a review. Thank you so much.
And if this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. If this is your first time watching the podcast,
Yes.
welcome. This is our first time back doing the recordings. We are on Apple podcasts. We're also on Spotify. Please subscribe. Please leave us a 5-star rating because you know we deserve it.
If you guys are Anchor fans, check us out on Anchor.
Right.
As well.
And also share the podcast with your friends and family, please.
Definitely.
We absolutely would love to have
another
them
big
here.
shout out to Sapphire.
Yeah.
Just people in the background who's been helping us a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And Marley, my big friend Marley.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. So yeah, if you are in the early stages of marriage, if you are in the early stages of parenting, you want to have your faith missional in all areas of your life, this is the place for you.
That's right.
We are definitely about encouraging you and motivating you to infuse your faith into just your marriage, parenting, and life.
That's right.
That's what we're here for. I am going to go into the song of the week.
Sure.
So the song of the week, I actually heard when we were in the car with your brother-in-law.
Brian.
And it was just like, it was so good. I was kind of surprised that he played that song. I don't know. It sounded like a little young. But I know I liked it after that. I didn't say he was old. You said he was old. I didn't say he was old. But yeah, this is a song of the week. It is called God Only Knows, and it's by For King and Country. Okay, so it's on their album Burn the Ships. I know. And it's by King and Country. So here is the song of the week, guys.
Yep.
You can turn that up while I turn this on.
And that is God Only Knows by King and Country.
Such a nice song. Well, I guess it's nice too when you listen to it in with the headphones, but it's the title of it would probably throw you off, God Only Knows, but then when you listen to it, you recognize it saying only God knows how to love that unconditionally. It's
true.
so good.
So true.
So good. So yeah.
So whatever you're going through, we just want to say
God knows. Yeah. And he is there. And you can find our playlist that we have all of the songs of the week.
Yes.
I know, it's just like
tongue twister.
I know. So you can find the playlist, the We Are the Baileys podcast playlist, and it's on Spotify.
Honey, I just want to say you're looking lovely.
Thank you.
Isn't she, guys? Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I know. It's been a long time that we did this.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about this week?
I think transitions.
Transitions. Yes. So we are in a completely different place. We said that. And what's our transition right now? We packed our bags in the middle of COVID, which is something else.
Crazy.
And we just, you know what? I don't want it to sound like we just did something spontaneous, because it wasn't spontaneous.
It wasn't spontaneous. Trust
it
me.
really was.
We prayed about this for a long time.
Right.
We processed.
Because I think, we moved in the middle of July.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before Kavika was born. So that was like a whole year.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a spontaneous decision, and it was more of, because we knew it was going to be a big transition. So, yeah, I think the first thing out about that is just that it was really in prayer. And you know what, too? Even though like you pray about something and you know it's like you know that you're in the middle of what the Lord is telling you to do, it still feels risky.
It does.
It still feels like, but what if I heard you wrong? Even though the both of us are listening to you, and it's still
we crash and burn.
Exactly, and it's just like I have no safety net. But isn't that kind of is just like how he expects you to believe him? Yeah, that he is your safety net.
I think the fear in that is like, what will people think if things don't work out? I think that's usually the biggest fear. Like, oh well, if our plans don't work out, people are gonna say, Yeah, we know they were crazy. We
Right.
know that they never had any good plans to be. You know,
I know, yeah.
that's
First they were
usually
missionaries, then they did
yeah.
home birth. Something is off about them.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's just the fear of what people will say. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I think in different ways I've passed some of that, and in other ways
Not
depending on the
really.
area that you're
Right.
working on.
Right. And then
Um
it's just tricky too because with kids, it's like, it's just like an extra level of risk.
I definitely need a boom
Right.
arm cards.
I told
Man
you.
is getting tired
Me
holding this
too.
mic
But it's
already.
because we didn't plan for it here. And
But
then
it's
where would we
okay.
could we have stuck it on like the
I
chair?
think we can do something. We just have to do
Yay.
it better. We just never had enough time to set up properly today. But
yeah,
next time we will.
because the boom arms are literally
Yes,
right there
I
on the
will.
floor.
You know, like that.
But yeah, so yeah, transition it's something else. We're still setting up hosts. I think it's gonna take us a while before we set up hosts. But how do you feel now that we've crossed, I guess, the threshold in a sense?
And the ocean too.
And right,
Or several
yeah,
oceans. How do I feel?
yeah. How do you feel now that we're here?
It just feels. I think I was talking to the Lord about this 2 nights ago, or early mornings ago, or maybe 3. Just saying thank you, Lord, for fulfilling your promise. I feel. I don't know. I guess I'm at peace because the Lord said something and you acted on the word, and then trust me, there were several obstacles along the way.
And doubts. Like a couple days before, I was just like,
obstacles.
is it okay if I tell you that
And
I'm having
several
doubts?
obstacles, including our flights canceling twice. Not to mention the second to last flight when we thought we had a flight because it was booked and they sent us the emails and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And the only way we found out we didn't have a flight is because I asked Gabriel to check on our flight from Kona to Honolulu to see if we could get a card, to see if we could get one of those, those Gulf card.
Yeah, just one of those like
thingies.
porter persons
That
to
could
like help
travel
us with all
with
our
us
bags.
so we wouldn't miss our connecting flight.
Mhm.
And then the lady told you on the phone, oh, we don't see any flight
I know.
with that record number.
Lady's like, I'm sorry, we don't see any flights leaving here until August. And I'm like, no, our flight
That
is July.
was just crazy. But anyway,
Yeah.
the Lord sorted out all of that in record time, and just really worked it out so much better. But I do feel at peace, to say the least. And I guess that would be the word to describe it. Just because you keep praying about it and you're seeing things come to pass. And I think that's how I've lived.
Yeah.
That's how we've lived.
And I think for me, which I did say to you before we left Kona, was just even with us creating the faith journal, I felt like this step had to happen. So it's not like we could produce something and give it to people that we never walked through. Because just even those same questions that we had in there, we were still talking through the same questions, doing this move. And I do feel like it brought a sense of purpose and unity for us that, just I guess those questions help to dig out that part in our relationship more too.
Well, even as you said that, I think of this couch that we're sitting on, which is a sleeper couch, from IKEA. We love IKEA. We do. So thank you, Sweden, for sharing IKEA with us. Hur mår du?
Oh my word.
But anyways, this couch is one of those things that was on our thank you list.
Right.
And we didn't have the money for it, but
That's
the
so
Lord
true.
provided some cash through a friend of ours, and and so like this is actually one of the things in the faith journal where you create your thank you sheet and you begin to pray and thank the Lord for different things you're believing in.
So literally almost like a year before this moment.
Yeah.
When we're just like, okay, let's think of, different places, different ideas, all of those things. I downloaded the IKEA app.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, well, let's just look at things
Yeah.
and let's just start, like taking pictures of them
Mm-hmm.
and putting them on our thank you list. So
Mm-hmm.
that's something that we do consistently
Mm-hmm.
throughout our journey. And yet, oh my gosh, we should talk about thank you
Oh
lists.
my God, we need a whole podcast to just talk about that.
Oh, it's so simple, but it's so powerful and
It
it's
is.
so effective.
And it just reinforces that God, He's listening and He cares about the big things and He cares about the little things.
Right. And also it brings the both of you on the same page
Mhm.
because now we know this is what we are believing God for. And I think for me, I don't know, faith is a little tricky for me, is it? I don't know, maybe I'm just timid. I'm a lot more scared than you are. So even though
I guess you
know
could
what I
say we're
mean?
at different levels in our
Yeah.
faith in different areas.
In
Because
different
there's
areas, yeah.
there's some areas where you would take a lot more risk than I would.
That's true.
Or your faith would seem more
Steady.
or,
And then there's
you
some
know.
things where I'm just like, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Is Jesus gonna come through? Is this gonna work out? And then, I'm happy that we're finally at the stage where I'm at the stage, or I think we are at the stage where I can express my doubts out loud to you, and I can say, I don't feel secure right now in my faith with this thing. Can you pray for me to believe again?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I said it to you before we moved here, and I was just like, I'm happy we're at that place where I could say that to you, like, oh, I don't believe that the fights are gonna work. And I was saying that to you. I was just like, Huddy, I feel like they're gonna turn us back. They're gonna send us home. What's gonna happen? And just being able to say that to you and just get it out there and ask you to pray for me and just for us to pray over the whole thing again.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
And I think even you saying that too, one of my encouragement to the men who are listening or watching this, especially the husbands, be sensitive to your wife's vulnerabilities. In the earlier years when you would say things like that, I'd be like, honey, what's wrong with you? Like,
Right.
just kind of like, just suck it up, it's gonna work kind of thing.
Right.
Because for me, that wasn't an area
It wasn't that struggle.
of fear or struggle or
Right.
challenge. And so I think sometimes in our relationships, we can downplay the significance of something that is important or challenging for
Right.
for a spouse in a relationship.
Or like a major a transforming moment, a moment of growth is taking place. But then if you aren't aware,
Yeah.
then you jump in and you just step on that thing and you kill it. And it was just
Yeah.
like, oh, this thing, it was coming up, but then because you're just like, suck it up, it dies.
Well, not even just die, but it
Or becomes
breaks,
hidden.
it breaks something in the
Yeah.
relationship process that was forming and that they needed to grow into.
Right. That's
know?
so good. That is so good. And it's so true because that's, like I said, that's exactly what I felt. I felt like we got to a different place about faith where I could say to you, okay, this is when I'm not steady with this thing.
But what I'm saying is that I had to learn how to not shut you down.
Yes.
Because I felt more confident
or you felt that if I said it, I was killing your faith. Because I feel like that's what
kind of
would have happened before, where you'd be like, oh, don't come to me with your doubts. Your doubts are gonna catch me like the flu. And that's not how it works. Like, I'm sure there must be a verse in the Bible. I don't know. I'm gonna find it, and if I find it, I'll put it on the screen and I'll put it in the description if you're listening.
Yeah.
But there must be a verse in the Bible that talks about, like, yeah, of course there is, that talks about the people who have more faith helping those without the faith, you know, the doubtful ones. And so
I don't know, something about these headphones. I think they're maybe too short.
I never liked them the moment you bought them.
Guys, if you have recommendations for a better headphone, or if you want to just send us a pair.
I never liked these headphones.
I think the top part is too short. These were on sale, so I just picked them up.
Exactly. But this is love. This is love, guys. This is love. Because I never liked them the moment you bought them.
It's kind of slipping off my head. Maybe it's for the kids.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a kiddie size. But
I'll keep my comments.
So yeah, if you want our address and mail us too, we'll take it. Thank
Yes,
you.
we will. So yeah, normally it would be this kind of don't tell me your doubts because I'm gonna catch it and then it's just gonna spread. But it really should be the other way
Yeah.
where I'm able to tell you in this safe environment and you're able to pray over me and say, okay, I see where you're having doubts. Let's pray about this. Let's ask the Holy Spirit to give you more faith to move on so that we can be walking together, because that's what faith needs. It needs agreement.
That is true. But you know what too? I think there is raw faith and there's mature faith.
Right.
And I think raw faith can sometimes be shaky or insensitive. And what I mean by that is, like you feel like if somebody says something, like
it's gonna
what you were saying, it's gonna affect your faith.
Right.
Versus mature faith knows that
it won't affect it.
No, it's not gonna affect it. If God is doing this, He's doing this regardless of what's happening around.
And in fact, mature faith is like, regardless of what happens, it's fine. But in fact, I can help you to get to this place of faith,
to lift you up with my faith.
Right. So raw faith is like, I'm running away because you might affect mine. But mature faith is like, no, I'm gonna stay here and shift the atmosphere.
Like you're gonna infect my faith.
Exactly. So I feel like
it's almost like if you sneeze on my faith is gonna catch a cold.
Exactly. So that's why I said I feel like that was a growth moment for us, and it was really a next level next level in our faith as a couple.
Well, okay, here's one thing, and I never really said this to you yet, but I felt like we could share it with the audience and they could maybe believe with us whether you want to or not.
What are we believing with them?
We're extending it to you so you can pray with us and believe with us. So we don't have a vehicle yet.
Yes.
And we're believing the Lord for a vehicle, a really nice one.
No, let's not.
No.
Are you like,
what?
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this is what we're believing the Lord for. And I feel led to share it with you guys. Like, I'm giving you an inside look.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Thank you list. Like, it's actually on our thank you list. So I'm just saying that this is one thing that's on our thank you list that we're believing the Lord for. So if you want to pray with us, if you want to join in with us, believe in the Lord for this, we're believing Him for a vehicle soon, because we don't have one yet. So
yeah, and I think soon means the end of next month.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah,
end of next month.
Time,
so yeah, just if you are a Christian, you're a believer, and you believe in what the Bible says about faith, and you've seen the Lord do things in your life just by holding on to faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And just like holding on to that, I know like the Lord can come through. He will come through because, He can do it.
I guess I wanted to share with them, not just to let them know what's on our
just
thank
pray
you
with
sheet,
us,
but also to kind of encourage, because I know God is gonna provide it. Like I know that already, but I wanted to kind of allow them to kind of come on the journey with us to see
That's fine,
God work it out, like to hear we talk about it and then see it happen and then see the pictures of it and then be like, whoa, if this happened for them, what can God do for me?
I know, which we should check the time.
I want to just like extend that faith to you guys
11:25
as you're listening to us, so that whatever you're believing God for on your thank you sheet, that you would actually expect it and watch it come to pass.
Right. At first I was feeling like
I said past.
I was feeling like we could have like shared about our vehicle miracles. Is that the way to title it?
Stories.
I don't know. Or vehicle stories, but then it's 11:25 and then the boys are back in like 3 minutes. But maybe that is a podcast for next time.
I think so.
So that like we can just, as you said, give them an inside look of what that faith list.
One quick thing that I have to say: never have I had a horrible experience at the airport in Kona.
Oh my
Everybody's
gosh.
always so sweet and so nice.
Yeah.
Now I have to say that because I feel like at the time,
Okay.
that was like crossing. I want to use the term crossing the Jordan, so to speak, because our bags. Pretty much, the lady was just saying the flight is leaving, even though we thought we were there early.
We were there early.
And she was just being so mad at us, like everything, like, oh, your bag is overweight. Oh, your bag is this. Oh, your bag is that. Oh, you might not make it on this flight. Oh, you better think about what you're doing. You know what? You should just go back home and think of like
booking
if you really want to be on this flight
yeah.
or book another flight. And I was just like, what on earth is going on? In all my years of traveling, I've never had an experience like
and
that.
And so she even
much
started
less in Hawaii.
I mean, we knew we were traveling with a lot of bags, and so she started calculating the bags just to kind of tell us like, oh, it's gonna be this amount. And I just looked at Tico because I knew at that moment, like, it was just a shock for you. And I turned to him and I said to her, pay for the bags. And I just kept saying, pay for the bags. And she kept going, and I was like, yes, we're gonna pay for the bags right now.
And then it's like it was three of them, two ladies and a man.
Everybody was just trying to tell us,
everybody
like, no,
was just getting so angry. And I'm like, this is warfare, literally, right? They're trying to prevent us from crossing over, because if we didn't go on that flight, I'm sure it would have gotten much more difficult from there, because this was it. We were like, heading out. So anyways, I just wanted to share that, because there will be moments where you're believing God for stuff and transitioning and crossing different borders or different, just transitioning in different ways. And doors will try to slam in your face, but you have to know what God says to you to push back against that door and say, no way. God said this, and literally, I'm going like, through now that you door.
Understand why the Bible says that you don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Because it really wasn't them. It was just the atmosphere of what was taking place. And so if you get lost in the vehicle that the warfare is coming, then you're fighting the wrong thing. And that's why I was just like, no, we don't need to engage with this right now. We just need to pay for the bags and get to the gate.
And that was good timing.
And I think that was what made them upset more, that we weren't fighting back. We're like, it's okay, we're just gonna pay and we'll go. That
was good timing when you said that, because then I was like, okay, just be nice, just be nice, just be nice.
The bags and go. Because I think they were just like, oh, you weren't thinking straight. You shouldn't pay for these bags. You should go and book another flight. And we're like, no, we're going right now. We're going tonight, right now. This plane isn't leaving us. So and that's why it's important for couples to walk together in faith, because if it was just you and you didn't allow me to have my moment of doubts and you pray to lift me up, then I wouldn't be there to help you, because then I would still be in doubts and I would be afraid, and then this would happen and I'd be like, oh well, I knew it was gonna happen. But now we can bounce off of when the both of us are in a good place in the journey.
So just be sensitive to when God is speaking through your spouse. Whatever the situation is.
So, thank you guys. This is like a mishmash?
Mishmash.
ABC Mouse.
Can you play it, please?
No, we can't find it. And the kids are going to come here. No. But I'm just saying, ABC Mouse has the best, what you call it? Alphabet songs. No, it won't play from that. Let me play it from here. I can find it here. So the letter M is Tico's favorite one, and I'm gonna be quick. It's 11:30, but they really give the letters personalities, and it's just like they're letters. They have no personalities. What
the
are we
letter
talking
M
about?
has this kind of old Motown kind of thing.
No, turn off that one.
Turn this off.
I
think you guys are gonna love it.
Here we go.
And this is our goodbye song for you.
Press your lips together when you say the letter M. Words like mittens, moon, and marshmallow are just a few of them.
You can tell
Let's
that we're
make
parents.
a little music as you sing along with me.
Woo.
Listen for
Come
the
on,
M
guys.
words in this little melody.
Don't sing.
Max the monkey mashed mangoes and melons and top that mix off with a cherry whenever he munch on this mishmash for lunch. Each mouthful made Max feel so merry. So let's hear it for M. You know it so well. When you sing about M words, it's easy to tell. So open your mouth and let's hear a yell for the marvelous letter that comes after air. Letter M. Micah Marie wrote a message to Mindy.
And that's the letter M from ABC Most, guys.
See you next time.
See you next time. What's our tagline thing?
Live confidently and
There
change
it
the
is.
world.
Live confidently and change your world. See you next time, guys.